What's going on, guys? We've got two different products that we're going to be installing today that I'm super stoked on.
You're excited? Feel these nipples!
We are really making some progress on this van build. Number one is going to be sound deadening, and that's going to go on the floor underneath the driver and passenger seat. And then the next thing is going to be H-liner, which is heat and sound deadening. So you see like this reflective shield right here, that's actually going to go around the engine and act like a barrier to keep that heat out from coming through the floor, essentially. First thing is going to be the sound deadening. So let me show you what's new inside the van. So one thing is I've patched both floor pans, and I'm super stoked with how it turned out. Don't get me wrong, but if you see in these pictures how rusted this thing was, it just kept getting worse. Everything that I found, just more and more rust and more stuff that I had to repair. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know about how much rust this thing has had, I've had to patch pretty much the entire floor on this thing. So it's finally that time to start finishing everything, finishing the floor, and one of those is actually going to be putting that sound deadener on here. Now this is sound deadening from Be Quiet. If you haven't heard about that brand, it's really awesome, and I reached out to them and they hooked us up with a lot of goodies, this being one of them. It's extremely thin, but it works wonders on actually keeping the car, the cab, the back, everything just super quiet. Now to save a little bit of time on this video, I've actually already went back and sanded all the filler down on this floor. But if you look at the at how this stuff goes down, you've got two sheets and you pull it back and it's actually just a sticky surface on this side, and that's actually what's going to stick to the floor. So first things first is we're going to have to clean this floor a little bit better than what it looks like right now for this stuff to actually stick and work like it's supposed to, because you really don't want it pilling up. So what I'm actually going to do is just take a little bit of water and a damp rag and just kind of wipe all of this dirt off. And I bought this stuff from DG called Totally Awesome. Totally. And that's actually what I'm going to use now after I've got all the dirt and stuff wiped off to really get this thing as clean as possible before we start to stick that stuff down. Now I'm just taking a paper towel and just kind of brushing off anything else that may have been loose sitting on top. And that's a 1987, as clean as possible. Now I should mention that I've actually never installed this stuff before anywhere, so we'll see how easy it actually is. First you'll need some scissors, then you'll need the roll of sound deadening. The shiny side is obviously going to go up because once you peel this back it's going to be sticky, and that's what sticks to it. Now there's several different things separating this brand from most of the other ones that you see. Number one is going to be this big roll. It's going to be 50 feet long and only a foot wide. Most of them that you get I think are already pre-cut. That's why you need the scissors, and that's not really going to be that big of an issue. I feel like it's actually maybe a little bit easier in a way because I can just sit this out, see what I need, and then cut what I need. So I don't know, we'll see. There may be some pros and cons with it. Right off the bat, I can tell that this stuff is super durable. It's waterproof, temperature regulating, and it's gonna act more than just a sound deadener alone. I plan on using this as my actual floor up front, and later on I'm gonna end up getting some rubber mats to go on top, but essentially you're gonna be able to see it 24/7. And you can see how it contours to the floor, and that's because it actually stretches just a little bit. So I was really worried about kind of where my welds and stuff were, that it wasn't gonna come out as clean, but it's looking really good. So one thing that I'm noticing pretty quick is maybe not to do it in the long strands, because it's really hard to get them straight. This one's pretty wonky. And then also you need something to kind of push it down with. So I'm using one of the little putty knobs that I've been doing all the filler and stuff with. It's either a squatted truck or a squatted SUV every single time. It's like nothing else that rides by here.
What is it with you people?
So the putty knives that I've been mixing the filler and stuff with, that's what I'm using to actually press down, kind of get all the air bubbles out and get it a little bit smoother. Also have this little hyper tough knee pad thing, and then to kind of get around these curves I'm using like a little box cutter. But this stuff is really, really sticky though. I don't know how easy it would be to pull up if you were to need to. Alright, so now that the floor is finished, it's not perfect by any means, so if you want to trash it in the comments, go right ahead. I'm happy with it. It's going to do its job. I did find out though that cutting the pieces a little bit smaller was a little bit easier. I couldn't get it super straight with these scissors, but I mean that's really not a huge thing because you can overlap them. I was really worried about that at first. Don't know why, but yeah. Anyways, it overlaps great, and I think it's just going to work out for me. So now let's get these doors going. So with these, I've just been cutting like 1, 2, maybe even 3 strips just to put along inside the door. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. A little bit of something goes a long way. So the reason that I'm only actually sound deadening up to about this line right here and not doing the whole back is because I'm sealing the floor a different type of way, and that's going to be in the next episode along with doing full insulation. So be looking out for that. I just really don't think it's necessary because I do want to put up a wall right here. If I ever do get AC back in here, I've known from my dad having a bunch of vans that if you've got this whole open space, it takes forever to heat up or cool down. So if you got that wall right there, then it just heats up and cools down a lot faster in the summer and winter. So now we got a few things to do inside the garage, so let's head that way. There may be a slight echo in here, but this center console, alright, it may be a little bit easier to take apart than I was thinking. Yep, alright. Go ahead and get that out of the way. So this is the part that covers the engine, and that's what we're going to be using for this heat insulation. Here's the old one. You can see it's in pretty rough shape. Bunch of holes in places. But so it's the same technique. What you're gonna do is just kind of peel it back. This side's gonna be sticky. And then yeah, so we're just gonna stick it on the inside of that. First we need to get it cleaned up. Once again, I'm gonna be spraying this totally awesome cleaner. I'm just kind of guessing and trying to leave enough. And then the idea here is to just fold it over and trace the line that I've already cut. So in theory it should mimic this other side. or a mirror, I guess I should say. Cool. Alright, now I'm going to clean the outside of this. And since I have a pretty good bit of that deadener stuff left, I think I'm going to throw it on the outside of this. It's probably overkill. It doesn't hurt, but I think it might look kind of cool too. So yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
2 seconds later. 2 seconds later.
That looks awesome! This thing looks like a spaceship now. Oh, it's so awesome. Before I get into throwing anything else in here, huge thanks to Be Quiet. This stuff was awesome. Can't wait to start working on the back in the next video. Their link's gonna be below. They're a supporter of the channel. If you wanna help support as well, go down, click on that link, check out their website, help them out. Whether you're doing a car, van, truck, they really do have everything you need. Also even have some packages. The van package is like super rad if you're doing like a live-in as well. So definitely check that out. Next thing we're gonna throw in is actually something that I got on Marketplace just a few days ago. So these seats aren't actually bolted down yet. They still kind of move a little bit. The bottom of them were wider than those little blue seats that I had. But these are definitely a whole lot more comfortable though. Like I can already tell just with having the seat that comes up to your shoulder, it's just so much better. So I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna bolt these, and then yeah, they'll be set in here and I can start driving this thing. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what it's gonna look like. Yeah, very happy with these. Got them on Marketplace. They're a little soft. Ended up getting a lot done in this episode. Got the sound deadening. Big thanks again to Be Quiet. And then these seats are in now. I'll be working on the back next, so you definitely don't want to miss that. This thing's really coming together and I'm super stoked. Starting to look really good. Almost too good. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Totally.